Welcome back to Tao of Twang. I'm Dave. This is the third and final session in this three-part mini course on a B-flat Mixolydian jam. Okay, all three sessions will be in a playlist on the channel, and they'll be the only things in there under the same name, B-flat Mixolydian Improvisation Mini Course. And if you didn't see parts 1 and 2, stick around. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. See if you like this sound, and if it's something that you really want to do, and then you can go back through the whole thing, and it really kind of builds you up, at different stages, up to where you can put together, a nice improvised solo over this simple progression. So the progression is B flat, and it really hangs out on B flat. That little turnaround every few measures is A flat, E flat. But just think of it as a B flat a Mixolydian, jam. So in part 1, we did sort of a mindfulness activity where we just kind of learned, one position of the B flat Mixolydian. And those of you that already know a lot of different scale positions for Mixolydian and other scales, you can still do this. It'll still benefit you, right? You just, apply it however it's appropriate, to your skills and what you're working on. But when I say mindfulness, it was just sort of like not really judging what we're doing, just kind of wandering around. Yeah, I hit a note in there that wasn't B flat Mixolydian, didn't I? I didn't drop my guitar like it was all of a sudden, had a temperature of 900 degrees Fahrenheit. I just kind of went down to the next note until I found one that fit, right? So that's just an example, try to resist starting over, right? In this kind of activity, there's no starting over because there's really no beginning, middle, and end to it. You're just in there swimming in that feeling and that sound of that mode or that scale, okay? So that sounds pretty, new agey or whatever, maybe. In part 2, then we get, down to business a little bit more. Right? Okay, now let's take that, now that we've got that, our ear and our hand acclimated to that scale and that feeling, and that muscle memory is starting to settle in, right? So now we can start to pay attention to other things that we want to do. We can direct that, to notes that, sound really good to us, or rhythmic ideas and so forth. So in part 2, we added some minor pentatonic stuff to it. And we did that really by alternating between the Mixolydian and the minor pentatonic. Many of the notes are shared between the two scales, right? So, do you have to make another map that has all of both scales in it and then try to name that some theoretical thing and so forth? I don't really think so. That's a noble pursuit if that's what you want to do, and it helps you in whatever way of understanding the instrument and just sort of the musicality of it better. But you don't have to process both things at once. You can also just kind of alternate back and forth. And here's kind of what that looks like. I'll start with the Mixolydian. Back to the Mixolydian, right? I kind of, I'm going to leave that on. I kind of started to blend them more, so I just put, this note, for example, is in the minor pentatonic. That's in the MIXOLYDIAN, the major third. See how cool that is, just going back and forth in simple ways and integrating those two things. Now, play a little bit more and see if you notice the next kind of shift in sound. Okay. Now, boy, that really just feels good. So here's what's going on there. And, to some of you, the sound might just say, oh, this just sounds like some of the same business, right? Don't really hear like a different scale there. And some of you may notice the visual, pattern of the scale. What I did was a major pentatonic launched from that B flat. Okay. I was about to play a wrong note that time, but I kind of caught myself before it happened or something, right? So now you've got three things going on. So see, if you tried to put all that into one big super scale diagram thing, it would just be more trouble than it needs to be, right? It's just three different things that happen to share some of the notes, but not all of them, right? And there's some theoretical things that are discussed on this channel and elsewhere on YouTube that really get into the kind of musical structure of those chords, or scales rather. But here we're just kind of using it, right? So, you want to start off in a position and at a speed and at sort of a vibe that you can, stay relaxed in, right? And then, you can kind of, pick up the speed or add more repetition and things as you go. So what we've really got going on here is you'll notice that some of the same shapes, that's major pentatonic. Right? And it's got that major third in it. Okay. Now this is part of the minor. So see how I've got two triangle shapes. Right? And I'm doing different stuff with them, different phrasings and a little bend. But listen to those alternating. Now, I'm not really doing much MIXOLYDIAN on it at this point, right? Then we'll add that in here in just a second. But listen to just those two. Okay. Now, there, I started off, I did, this position. Let me grab my pick again. Moved up to here. Major, pentatonic, minor pentatonic. Then I kind of went down here and did it at more of a home base. Then I did a little MIXOLYDIAN, kind of filled in more. Right? The major pentatonic doesn't have a seventh in it. And we said earlier in the series that the essence of that MIXOLYDIAN feeling and sound is that flat seven, the major third and the flat seven. So when it's the best of both worlds, right? You get that minor pentatonic, that bluesy sound, and then when you go to that, it also the minor one pentatonic version includes the flat seven that's in common with the MIXOLYDIAN scale. See, then when you go to the major one, it skips over a seventh, right? The seventh. It's all in there, man. Just get in there and stay calm, right? Go at an even pace and let your ear seek out those notes. And when you hit them, you're going to know it and your body's going to remember it. And you keep building on it in that method. It's all going to be mortared in there. You're not going to come back 3 days later and not remember all of it or any of it, right? It's going to be built in. So let me know how this went for you. Appreciate every one of you. Thanks for all the comments and feedback. And we're just really a lot of people are making a lot of great progress. I talk to many of you now every week. And I just appreciate all the support and the donations, and people have been buying T-shirts and stuff. It's really cool. I hope you're enjoying those. You might consider ordering a size larger than you normally do, just because I have to order them from the same place, and I'm not a small guy, so I'm not used to ordering my shirts this big, but they seem to fit pretty well if I go one size up. So just a tip there on apparel, I guess. Talk to you later, okay? Take care.